welcome back. And today I just want to share with you a really quick review on a new brand of eyeshadow palettes that I've been loving lately. And I've talked about them a bunch on my channel, but I wanted to come on and just do a full-on review and share my thoughts on the price point, on the packaging, on the performance of the eyeshadows, just everything. I'm actually wearing them on my eyes today, and the shadows I'm talking about are from Makeup Atelier Paris. Now, I got these on Poshmark because I had heard some people talk about them. I'd heard, I believe, Wayne Goss talk about them. A Glittery Life, Trish at a Glittery Life, who I just love, and these are working makeup artists, and I completely trust their opinions. So I actually picked mine up on Poshmark. You can find these at Beautylish. They come in quints and they are $35 a piece. I'm gonna get into my thoughts on the price point a little bit down the road. So first off, let's talk about the packaging. So again, you do get 5. It's got the logo on the front. On the back, you have the name of the eyeshadow palettes, how much you're getting, and you get all of the ingredients on here. And just to be known, talc and mica are the first ingredients in here, but that doesn't bother me, and especially with how they perform. Plus a bunch of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, those are like the first 2 ingredients. So, but just a heads up. So it's a really sturdy case, but it's very slim and very compact. Like, it is absolutely nothing to fit all 3 of these in my makeup bag and go. I love the way they are packaged. You can tell they are packaged for makeup artists because they're clear on the top. You can see what you're getting, what you're looking at. So it's not like just a random black palette where you can't, you know what I mean, like the Sleek palettes or the Morphe palettes. I'm not trying to talk crap about them. I'm just saying, when you look at those palettes and or the, Coastal Scents palettes, where you just look at the palettes, it's just a bunch of black palettes, you don't know what's on the inside. I love that these are packaged for makeup artists because they're intended for professional makeup artists. So overall, I love the packaging. As for the price point, $35, it breaks down to $7 an eyeshadow. I think that is extremely generous considering the quality of these eyeshadows. I prefer these over my Makeup Geek shadows. I prefer these over my MAC shadows. As much as I love my Serenity and Scott shadows, I just prefer these over those shadows. I think these are some of the best quality eyeshadows I've ever worked with. And when you swatch them, they don't really look that spectacular. You know what I mean? It's not like instant pigmentation like it is with the Juvia's Place palette, for example, but they blend so beautifully on the eye. They just completely blend themselves out. It's effortless, and I absolutely love the quality. Now, if you go on Beautylish, they've got tons and tons and tons of these quints in all different themes and shades and color themes, but I just have 3 of the neutral ones, which I really am quite happy with. I have got this shade right here which is called Honey Brown. These all have a little bit of shimmer in them. These are very shimmery, and these all just have some very fine micro shimmers down here. I'm wearing one of the shades from that palette on my eye. This palette is called Natural Brown. This one has a matte in it, and these all have this one is a matte, this black is a matte, and these all have a little bit of shimmer in them. And then I have my last one, which is Natural Chestnut, are all mattes, and I love this palette. This is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes. I'm wearing all 4 of these colors. I'm not wearing the deepest, darkest brown, but I am wearing all 4 of these, and I absolutely love them. So I think the price point, the packaging, the color selection is absolutely fabulous for these eyeshadows. I think the quality of these eyeshadows is fantastic. Just to give you an idea of the lasting power, and keep in mind I do have dry skin, I don't have oily eyelids, but I just used, I want to say, my Photo Finish eyeshadow primer from Wet n Wild, or my Photo Focus eyeshadow primer from Wet n Wild. The day I went to IMATS, I got up about 7 o'clock in the morning. I put these on. We did not get home until the next day, like around 6 in the morning. And I want to say that when we got to the train station that night, to Penn Station, about 2 o'clock in the morning, my eyeshadow was still on. It was just, I was so super impressed, and I can't recommend these enough. I think if you are looking for good quality eyeshadows with good pigmentation that have a great price point, I think $7 an eyeshadow is extremely worth the money. I mean, it's such a great deal. So again, I'm going to swatch these for you, and just keep in mind, like I said, they don't swatch. They're not the most impressive in swatches, but then again, I don't really judge shadows by swatches. I like to judge them by how they perform on the eye. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this one. This is in Natural Chestnut. So those are what they look like there. They're very much, this is a very natural palette on me, so they really don't show up on my skin, but you can see kind of they have just a beautiful ombre, which I love. This is like my favorite go-to neutral palette because I can really just create the most natural looks with just the most natural type of just definition to the eye. And this is that last shade. The shade is actually really beautiful. It's just a beautiful kind of cool toned brown. And again, some of the shadows feel really, really soft. Some of them feel a little bit more on the gritty side. I don't want to say gritty, stiffer side. Let me correct myself and say that. But, and again, I mean, not the most impressive in your face swatches, but guys, don't let, you know, don't read a book by its cover. Don't judge an eyeshadow by its swatch because you will be misled most of the time. The next palette I have, let's do the natural brown. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna learn how to do this. See, like this one right here feels really, really soft. This one feels a little bit more on the stiff side. This one feels a little bit more on the stiff side. And that's the first 4 shades. I'm just wiping my hands off on my pants so they're not wet. And then let's look at the black. Like the black is super, super soft, but when you actually like get it off on your finger, it doesn't seem like it has a lot of pigment. You know what I mean? Like that swatches terribly, but when you put this in your crease and blend it out, oh, it's so good. It's so good. The last one we have is Honey Brown. And I love this palette as well. This color right here, it looks white in the pan. And this is actually what I'm wearing on my inner corner and my brow bone, but when you swatch it, is the most beautiful gold duochrome. This color is absolutely stunning. Those shimmers are really soft. Beautiful coppery brown. This is like a brown with gold reflex in it. So that's that. Like, do you see the duochrome in that? It's so beautiful. And these they do have a little bit of that bunching. They're a little powdery, but nah, I don't care. That's that copper shade, really beautiful. I'm getting eyeshadow all over myself. That's that matte copper shade. This is that brown with the gold reflex. Let me wipe my hands off on my pants again. And then the last shade in here, which again is really, really soft. It's a beautiful, like deeper, cooler brown with gold reflex in it. Really, really pretty. So again, guys, they don't look like much, but I have got to say I have never been more confident in recommending eyeshadow palettes. I think these are absolutely, hands down, some of the best eyeshadows you could invest your money in. I think they're just absolutely stunning. And I wanted to share them with you because I just hear nobody talk about them. I mean, they're not flashy, they're not fancy, but overall, I think just, I would highly recommend these to anybody. If you're a beginner, if you are somebody who is a old makeup pro, if you're a working makeup artist, I think they're stunning. Absolutely. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Makeup Atelier Quince. I will definitely be picking up some more because, you know, I need more eyeshadows. But let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you interested? Are you just not at all? Do they just kind of go to you? Have you tried these out? You know, do you love them? Do you hate them? You guys know I'm Creepy Stalker and I want to hear your thoughts. So share them with me down below. Today I want to shout out Trish at A Glittery Life. Again, she's a working makeup artist. She is just wonderful. She tells it how it is. She's very upfront, to where she's like, look, I stay in my lane. I deal with high-end luxury makeup and I don't mess around with poor quality makeup. And she's very upfront about that. So if you're not somebody who's into luxury makeup, you probably won't be interested in her channel. But if you're somebody who really, really loves high-end makeup, seeing just great reviews, great demos, tutorials, that kind of thing, go check out her channel because she is phenomenal. Absolutely adore her. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.